like it's still going, so my apologies if there's like fragmentation there in the beginning of the video. I just did a video on Facebook about the 6 pillars of communication. No pun intended, but they all started with P. This is a system laid out by Shawn Michael, aka Discovery, who's a good friend of my mentor, Arash Sapardi-Vazar. The pillars were pitch, pace, prolongation, pronunciation, pause, and passion. And I broke down those in a very cursory way, just really quickly talked about those 6 variables. And I kept referring to the silent flute, meaning I go way deeper into those variables in the silent flute, which is my online training program. It's at ninthplum.com. You can see all the details about it. I give sample lectures and everything on this YouTube channel. What I wanted to talk about in this video is one of those variables of communication, namely passion. Passion means to suffer, hence like Passion of the Christ. But in that system that Shawn Michael laid down, passion really just means, what are you emoting? What's the emotion of your communication? When you begin to put your attention on the emotional frequency of your communication, then you can begin to change it. Then you can begin to observe it. Then you begin to notice it as something that's separate from you, that you are not the emotional frequency or the emotional expression that you're expressing. You're not the emotion. The emotion is just a variable to be played with, like the dial on a radio, like volume or bass or treble. Emotion. And before you can control it, you must see it. When you begin to see your emotion, you'll also clarify it in other people. You'll clearly see it in other people. When I first began realizing this was, as the video title says, your face says it all. I could see the facial expressions in other people, and I had noticed those same facial expressions in myself. Especially during yoga, meditation, and still breathing, just sitting and breathing. Because your facial expression is communicating what you're saying to yourself. Your resting facial expression communicates your silent sentences. Listen to this again. Your facial expression is communicating what you're thinking about. Start to notice it in other people. Start looking in the mirror and notice it in yourself. Start to feel it in yourself. The more you practice yoga, you watch this YouTube channel, you subscribe to the Silent Flute training program, you get my products, the more you get these things, my information, my content, nobody else is talking about it. If they are, please comment on this video with a link to their YouTube channel, and I'll look at their content. If anybody, both in the realm of how effective they communicate, how good you are when they communicate, or if they're communicating about these kinds of variables of communication, pay attention to all of the things, your face and head and tongue and jaw and neck, and elsewhere in your body, but especially from the collarbones up. Pay attention to what is letting go as you meditate, or what's gripping. What starts to grip as you meditate, as you breathe, as you hold your breath, even while you're doing yoga postures. And those grippings are related to what you're seeing and thinking about in your mind. And a lot of times, we're unaware of what we're seeing and thinking about, which means that it's unconscious. You're not conscious of it. We're more conscious of it when I'm consciously angry and I have angry face. But did you know that oftentimes you have angry face while you do yoga, but you're not conscious of your anger? So start to pay attention to your facial expressions as an indication of your passion. And one thing with my face and another thing with my words, intentionally. Many people are doing that unintentionally. Their face says they're disgusted, but their words are saying, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Really? Because your face says it's not good. And I trust your face actually first, because you have less control over it. And what you have less control over, I trust more as an honest expression. So, and then what I'm saying here is have more control over everything. So that's an interesting one. I just tied myself into a mental knot. Have more control over everything, but I trust that part of you which you don't have control over, mostly. So I would trust a person who has more control over a person that has less control. So even though I trust the part of you that's not controlled more than the part of you that is, I trust a person that has more self-control over a person that has less self-control. So that's how I worked around that. So I hope you found this interesting. Like, share, subscribe. Well, I guess you must be subscribed because I'm live and so you're on it. And check the latest video that I released today on sacred psoas. It'll blow your mind if you know anything about sacred psoas or the psoas muscle or hip flexors or anatomy or yoga therapy. I highly recommend check out that very free, very informative video that I released earlier today. And I'll catch you in the next one. Blessings.